boys, we are back, and it is October 22nd. We're recording this, of course, live here on YouTube at DTBK or at Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid on Twitter, wherever. I'm sorry, on YouTube. Man, I'm already off, just like the Lions were today, and an absolute 38-6 ass kicking by the hands of the Baltimore Ravens on the road in Baltimore, no less. But before we get into all this, let's introduce Blue Kool-Aid crew that is here. I'm Big Z. Let's get to the other two. We got UJ
Hello, Lions fans.
and Rud Dog.
Yo.
So, gentlemen, 38-6, and that I don't even know what that tells how bad this game was for Lions in every way.
Nope.
From the very get-go of this game, it was bad. It was very, very bad.
Big Z, we call that an ass whooping.
Yeah, we have not seen something like this out of the Lions since Carolina last year. What do you guys say? I mean, it
reminded me a lot of that game. Actually,
it did. Yeah, where they just went on the road outdoors and looked
after a win streak.
Lifeless. After a win streak, yes. That one had a little more playoff implications. This one, at least, is still earlier in the season, and there's a lot of time to right the ship. I mean, we're still 5-2. The Green Bay lost. The Vikings are expected to lose tomorrow to San Fran, and then the Bears actually won. But the Lions still have essentially a 3-game lead in the division after this one. At least they're losing from that perspective of things. I guess it's a lone bright spot that they can take it and still have plenty of room for error to win the division. But yeah, I mean they definitely did not look like a top contending NFC team today, like people were claiming throughout the week. The narrative's going to change a little bit, I think. And like Dan Campbell said in his post-game conference, maybe this is what they needed to just refocus for the rest of the year and to remind themselves throughout the rest of the year. We thought the loss to Seattle might do that, but maybe this one really will hone in.
Well, that was 4 games ago.
But UJ, your thought?
All right. This team is an imposter. Goff is an imposter. He's not the guy we thought. He exposed his true self here. Dan Campbell can't coach. No one can catch. We have the worst talent, the worst GM ever. We can't get talent on this team. We've been totally exposed today.
Who's this UJ?
Boy, it's one game, guys. Come on. Not time to panic. I've been reading a lot of comments around the different places on the internet, and people are getting this, oh, my God, Goff is this. It's one game, guys. Come on. It happens. It's no big deal. We're gonna put this one behind us, and they're gonna go on and they're gonna crush some people coming up. So it's no big deal. It's the NFL, baby. This happens once in a while. So don't panic, fans. That's all I'm saying. What do you say, Red Dog?
At the beginning of the season, if people had us at 5-2 at this point, they probably would have been pretty happy. Like, this was one of those games that it would have been nice to win, but you're playing a really good team, one of the best teams in the league on the road at their house, and you're coming, off you're still in a pretty tough stretch right now. We still have another game before the bye week. Like, we're banged up. I'm just saying, this game had a lot of things that were working against us, and it kind of just came to a head. And Lamar's a good player, and these mobile quarterbacks can be really hard to handle. Like, I'll admit, I've spoken. I think Lamar's passing game has come a long way. Like, he looked really good out there today, sitting in the pocket, delivering dimes. Granted, our pass rush just wasn't getting there, but I think that's just seems to be the same problem that we ran into at Seattle when a mobile quarterback makes us have to try to rush super disciplined, but then it takes the edge off our pass rush. But
I'm sorry,
finish.
I interrupted you.
That being said, great teams are forged in trials and tribulations, and this is just 1 week in a long season, and it's only our second loss. It's not, the sky is not falling.
Indeed. I think Lamar Jackson, he got out of the locker room early because he didn't have to shower. He didn't even break a sweat in that game. But there wasn't a whole lot of good in this game. But I want to tell you one play that stood out to me. And it was we were on defense, and we forced Lamar Jackson to his right, and looked like we were converging on him. And this receiver, I think the tight end, I don't know, leaked past the linebackers, and Lamar just dumped one over the top, and this guy ran for like 80 yards. And
He's a fullback.
yeah, but I don't think that was a fullback. I don't know. Anyway, the commish freaking chased that guy all the way down the field, man. Almost caught him. Like that guy just turned the commish jets on for whatever they are, and he just he sprinted the whole way down that field. When other guys were already giving up on the run, that guy never stopped. So I just thought it was a cool effort play. If anybody noticed that.
It was a running back, by the way, Gus Edwards, that had that long catch.
Yeah. Did you remember seeing the Kaminsky
I'm
doing
positive.
that though?
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
remember? I thought that was
I mean, he's always been a hustler, so we've never doubted his hustle at all. But what I wanted to focus on.
Okay.
You wanted to focus on silence. Everyone should remember in this time it's a good idea to meditate and not talk. No, I'm just kidding.
Whenever you have
So we're
technical
having
difficulties, you look at the microphone and go, "What's wrong with this microphone? Must be the mic." Oh boy.
Yeah. But I do think I agree with Dan. The energy never seemed to drop. The team kept trying. We just couldn't get anything to happen in our favor. They just had an answer for everything on, especially that Baltimore offense. Our offense did get moving a little bit, but it's tough when you're playing a really good defense with a giant lead, and we still put up a fight. I thought it was interesting that we kept Goff in there all the way down to the nitty gritty. Well, not just Goff, everybody. They didn't put any subs in, no matter how hopeless that game became. I think Dan just wanted to show that we're fighting no matter what.
Yeah. I think you're right. It wasn't a lack of effort, but it was, in fact, sometimes I think it was overzealousness. These guys weren't handling their assignments correctly. I think they were almost too jacked up. We kept losing our edge because guys were coming down too hard on the inside and giving up the edge, which they did a few times, which led to big plays. But it was unlike us. We kind of lost our discipline, if you will.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's you notice whenever we're struggling mightily, when your defense starts breaking down, it's because somebody isn't trusting someone else to do their job typically. And they're trying to make something happen, right? And that seems to happen the most in games when you're really losing and nothing's going your way. I think I saw it happen in real time was when Hutch put a nice spin move on, got penetration, was what's his name had nowhere to go at first, but then he just kind of popped out to the side and we had lost contain, and he ran. I think he ran or he threw for a touchdown. I don't know, but it just, when you're trying, it's so hard to run that ragged edge of disciplined pass rush where you have to still be super violent and get off your blocks. And these O linemen for Baltimore, for Seattle, they know it. It's a huge edge for them to know that if we try a reckless pass rush to beat them, then we're probably sacrificing yards to Lamar, and that's just a huge edge to play, and they play it really well. And we didn't do what we've been doing the last few weeks, which was beating the O-line, and their O-line for the Baltimore managed to keep us at bay long enough for Lamar to always either find a way out or find a guy downfield.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they were trying to be so disciplined, and you could tell they were trying really hard to do that. And you're right; it gives the O-line an advantage because they know that. And with a guy like Lamar back there too, I mean,
yep.
Oh God, there were a couple times that, how did he get out of that? I have no idea. But
sorry, I've had technical issues. For anybody listening, if you guys use StreamYard, stop using it because it's the worst service ever. But we'll continue. What was the topic of your conversation? So I can get involved here.
We were just talking about it wasn't really a lack of effort, but it was more a lack of discipline in a lot of phases. For instance, on defense, how many times we gave up the edge when normal discipline.
I have something on that point, and it's more, was it on the players or a terrible coaching effort? I think this team was extremely unprepared for the
I
Ravens.
don't know about
Lamar
that.
Jackson's one of the worst quarterbacks this year against the blitz. How many times the Lions blitz in the first half? 2 or 3. They
Yeah.
rushed 3 guys most of the first half with a spy over the middle. That's why Lamar Jackson's getting so much time, just sitting back in the pocket waiting to throw. I thought it was a terrible game plan defensively, and it put the Lions in a big hole. And obviously, offensively, they just weren't on the same page. But I thought the bigger error was on the defense got the game so out of hand so fast that the offense kind of had to do some more unique things. But I thought defensively,
Yeah.
this is Aaron Glenn's worst performance since they faced the Dolphins last season.
The Dolphins.
Well, it's kind of hard to argue with that. They did not seem prepared for this one at all. But on either side, really. And then top it off, sometimes you can be down by a big margin and come back in the second half and make a game of it. But we didn't adjust. We didn't do anything.
I
carried
disagree.
over.
I saw like every kind of blitz we could dream up. It seemed like being thrown, and every time we did it, Lamar had somewhere to go with it, and they were picking it up long enough so he could get it out. So I'm not convinced that this was all on Aaron Glenn. I saw players failing to beat blocks consistently. Like Hutch was the only one who kept any kind of relative pressure on. Maybe maybe we could have done something different, but I saw a lot of different blitzes and nothing was working. I didn't see like anything work. So to tell me that's on the coaching, I guess I don't know. That looks like the players not executing to me.
Well, I think they might have gave too much credence to trying to stop Lamar Jackson because the linebackers were all cheating up. It seemed like, and they were just dumping passes past our linebackers in between the safety and the linebackers, guys wide open and stuff. So I think that kind of contributed to their success, if you will. So I think there's maybe a scheming issue there.
Well, I'll say this: like I do think it's largely on the players' execution. Clearly, coaching is part of it because, like Dan Campbell said, and I think everyone would agree that when we win as a team, we lose as a team. Like this was a full team loss. No one's left blameless in a loss like this, and that's including the coaches. I do put it slightly more on the players. You could probably make an argument whatever way you want when the whole team collapses like this. But like Connor shared a tweet in our chat, and it brought up something that I thought of. I thought of that Patriots game when Matty P was here, and we put a spanking on the Patriots at home. But they won the Super Bowl that year, I think. Like these kinds of losses happen to good teams. It's football. It's the NFL. Sometimes things just line up and you just don't have your day, and a good team can take advantage of you, and that's what it looked like today. As far as future implications, I think about the only thing it kind of highlighted to me was maybe we could afford to try to make a move before the trade deadline, especially for either a pass rusher or another strong secondary piece, because I think having Jacobs out really hurt today. I mean, I know Z will never admit that, but
no, I said I was upset when I heard that he was out. I mean, because then you're forced to throw Will Harris out there, cornerback, which is not ideal.
No, we were suboptimal today against a good team, and Lamar clearly has come a long way with his passing, and he showed that today. So I'm not worried about it. Long-term implications here are very little. Like we could use some guys. I think that much is clear. But overall, as a team,
I mean, the Lions had to cancel practice on Wednesday because the injuries are getting so bad. So
we're
and Jerry Jacobs got injured during practice. This is like the third injury we've had this year during the week of practice. I'm not sure what's going on, but Jerry Jacobs got hurt falling down on his knee after jumping in the air on a Friday. So I'm not sure what they're doing on a Friday practice where he's getting his body in a position to hurt himself like that. And then Gibbs obviously hurt his hamstring during the week. I mean, that's a little more forgivable. It's tough. There's a lot of injuries, though.
The thing about and most people probably don't understand this. I'll use that another realm for comparison. Special forces, special operations in our military. You know what the most common cause of casualties in those ranks are? It's not enemy fire or anything. It's training. Because when you're going to war, when you're training to be the best, you have to train like you fight. So you can try to mitigate all those injuries during practice, but like when you're going during the week, you still have to train like you're going to play in the game to some extent. You can't go super soft, otherwise you're not going to show up prepared. Maybe that, that day off was a misstep. Maybe we should have just kept going like through our normal routine. Sometimes you risk mixing things up and it can throw you off. I don't know, but the point is, this is a hard sport. It's like war. It's battle. It's taxing on the body, no matter when it's practice or in the game. And so, that it happens. Practice injuries are not uncommon.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying it's a third one in through 7 weeks.
Yeah, we were dropping like flies.
Impactful players. So.
Yeah.
And now we got freaking like Mo Ibrahim gets one freaking play and looks like he's gonna like never walk again.
Yeah, he had emergency surgery on his hip, dislocated hip.
It was a dislocated hip. I was like, did they like break his spine or something? Like, it was just weird.
That was weird because it didn't even look that bad of a hit.
No, not first.
Real time, but wow. It's amazing stuff.
But yeah, we're certainly banged up. And like last year, like a lot of times these, like I think that's just another testament to where we're at though with a 5-2 record, is that we are banged up and we've been banged up, and yet we've still found a way to win most of the games, at least the ones we should win. Like this game was always going to be a tough one. Like I think most people thought if we were going to have losses this year, you'd find one in Baltimore likely. Not that I wanted to concede that, or anything, but it is what it is now. So, I mean, but we're still winning games that we should, and today we just didn't have it. I think the effort was there, but as a team, we were just not ready for this one.
Well, the Lions desperately needed bye week. They get it the week after this Monday night game next week, and it's really nice that the Lions get to come back home, get a primetime game Monday night against the Raiders, a Raiders team that just got blown out by the Bears. So this could be a really good get right spot and then get healthy spot during the bye week the following week after. So a big turning point in the season, even with this tough loss on the schedule.
I wouldn't mind playing the Ravens in the Super Bowl. And then,
I mean, it's very possible.
It'd be like the perfect narrative because like everyone's going to point to this game. If that was the game, like this game would be getting played like ad nauseum on ESPN and stuff if we were lined up to play them in the Super Bowl. And like, wouldn't that just be the perfect way to set up the Super Bowl, to come back and smack them in the mouth?
That'd be nice. Can I talk about one little concern I have, though? Seriously?
No.
Okay. I won't. Oh.
Go ahead.
You guys are kidding. I get it.
Okay.
No, J-Mo, man. He reminds me of that kid on The Little Giants, that movie where you can't catch, but you throw like a roll of toilet paper or something, you can catch it or something. Like, even that one that he was kind of interfered on where the guy took his arm and the thing hits him in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of ridiculous. And he kind of can't focus on the ball or something. It's so weird.
Well, last week he had a great catch that took a lot of focus. Like last week, it was a great catch that he had like look over his shoulder twice, adjust his body. He had a similar one actually today that he
almost
dropped,
made it again today.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. He frustrates me a little. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not putting that as much on J-Mo. Honestly.
I mean, he's had drop issues all off season. So,
did we see drop issues today? Like I saw him get interfered with on a deep ball and not see the ball come hit him in the face. I guess.
I mean, we saw it in the preseason. We saw.
I know that.
Game.
I'm just saying today I didn't see that. That didn't seem to be the issue.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'll criticize Goff a little bit on this one because I didn't think Goff was putting the best balls up there for him. Goff should have put that one that he dropped in the end zone. Goff could have put that over the top. That's an easy touchdown, but he threw it to the side and low. And so Goff's got. I'm telling you, Goff just needs to get used to just throwing that ball as far as he possibly can for J-Mo because that kid seems to always have more speed than the people covering him.
Oh, absolutely.
So
but I'm sorry, but it just seems like he doesn't have those soft hands to me, and sometimes you got to catch hard ones too. Yeah, I know you can argue the one last week was a hard catch. All this, yeah, you're right, but I mean, he looked really dorky on that one where it hit him in the head. It looked like he just wasn't even adjusting to it at all. It was just strange to me.
That play did sort of symbolize the entire game for the Lions. Honestly, it felt like
I'm not super concerned at this moment, but it is a kind of back of my mind concern, J-Mo.
Oh, I wouldn't be too worried about that, but hey,
okay.
it wasn't like we watched him bounce off his hands today. Like what you're describing didn't happen today. I know that things in the past, like Z said, but like that just wasn't the issue today.
I can't help how I feel.
We'll help it.
Yes, no, express yourself, EJ. We're glad you're sharing your feelings.
I am. I'm
This
sharing
is an
my
open
feelings.
space.
I can't help how I feel.
Oh my god,
Guys, understand my truth.
Oh,
So you know it's kind of crazy. Amon-Ra had 19 targets in this game, 13 catches for 102 yards.
he struggled.
Gibbs actually had 100 plus all-purpose yards, receiving and
his best game,
rushing.
I'd say yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a good game.
Like
Not
he
bad.
looked like it looked like if we could have got him going a little earlier, he was ready to break some. But
Mhm.
the other, like freaking St. Brown, he had a good game overall, but like he kind of hurt us early on, not being able to hold on to some of those balls that got like I don't know what was with him today.
Did he have multiple drops? I know the one he had, but it was a holding call, so it didn't even
I
matter.
thought he had a couple.
That was
I
sort
thought
of
he had
our
a couple.
Goff too. I thought he had at least 2. I don't know, but
Oh, Goff for running out of the pocket.
yeah, I don't know why he banned in the pocket there. He
Yeah,
had
in
a good
pocket.
pocket, and then he pulled the guy out away from Sewell and kind of set him up for that holding call.
Yeah, Sewell had another holding call though on another big play too, I believe.
Yeah.
I think we
did.
can talk about that was the worst performance I've seen by our offensive line since it's been created. Maybe there's been a worse one, but this one today, like they just got kind of whooped. Like and like Ragnow got whooped on one real bad.
Yeah, this is as bad. This is the worst one I've seen since they played the Patriots last year, where I think they
But
had,
did
like,
we
7
have all
sacks
5
against
of our guys then? I guess technically we're missing Jonah, but
no.
we're
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like still like oof, it was rough.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a rough one.
It was not good. It was not good. I mean, also when you're putting we had 53 pass attempts in this game, plus
Yeah.
5 sacks, so really 58 technically.
Yeah, and
plays
that's just
where
the
we try to run a pass.
circumstance of the falling behind early.
Right. So I mean, when you're put in that position too, it makes it a little tougher. But early on, it wasn't great either. So
No.
I mean, this is a tough one. Hopefully, it's not more of the same. There's not really anybody that stood out, I guess, maybe besides Gibbs and Amon-Ra to a degree. I mean,
Jack
Josh Reynolds
Fox.
had 2 catches again for 43
Jack
yards.
Fox had a couple good punts.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, Goff was good with the football at the very least, but like in terms of not turning it over, like that, like when you're going against a defense like that who's smothering you so thoroughly, it's oftentimes it's not uncommon for turnovers to sort of suddenly pile up. Like his one interception, the guy shouldn't even caught it. Kind of did us a little solid there if it would have mattered, but like he didn't throw some. There were some bad balls he put out there, but at the same time they weren't dangerous balls, and he wasn't turning the ball over, which just in a day when you need to score a lot of points sometimes isn't enough.
And some of that's luck too. He
Yeah.
fumbled twice, and we were
I
able to
forgot
recover.
about
We were able to recover both of them, thank God. But
Yeah, did you like Sewell's? Sewell's. He picked it
Yeah.
up and he like broke a couple tackles and got back to the line of scrimmage. But I thought it was funny to watch him run with the ball. Maybe
Yeah.
they should give him the ball on the goal line one of these days. That'd be a lot.
Oh
of fun.
yeah, that would
There
be
you
fun
go.
to watch.
Or
man.
put him at lead fullback or something, or just have him push Goff from behind into the end zone. One of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's far enough from the ball where he might not make as much big of an impact rather than from pushing Goff. Just imagine shoving Goff like just blasting him in the end zone.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Only for like a big moment in case Goff gets hurt, like to win the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah. Laporta actually had a solid day today, especially through the air. 6 receptions, 52 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah, decent day.
on National Tight Ends Day, so
Yeah, right.
the Greg Olson holiday, and he was announced that. Yeah, unfortunately, this is like one of the national. They're the national announcing team on this one, and they did not get the best Lions product.
No.
No.
today.
At least we didn't get the flex this week. That would have been bad.
It's really weird too because I was watching the pregame stuff on NFL Network and some of it on Fox. I was switching,
Yeah.
and they were really talking about the Lions a lot. which, we're just not used to that as Lions fans. Usually you're lucky to get a word in anywhere, but they were just talking about us up and down. And, a lot of people saying how good we were, and they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And then we just lay the biggest egg ever. But maybe we can calm the talk down just a little bit now and just get back to work and start winning again. So we'll be fine.
Yep. It was an ass whooping, but sometimes an ass whooping is just what you need.
Yeah, I mean they're really. I mean, do you think the Ravens exposed something that other teams are going to try to utilize? And
well,
do
the only
against us
trend
more?
I've seen is if you have a mobile quarterback and you can use it to take the teeth out of our pass rush. Like this looked too much like the Seahawks game where like whatever pressure we got was just impotent because the quarterback was always ready for it to just break out and do something with the ball. Which I mean, I don't know what the answer is to that, but that's the only thing like where I can see like a pattern or a trend. Like the defense just got picked apart by that again today when you're not getting pressure. But the offense, I'm less concerned about. It was just a bad day against a really good defense. Like I would fully expect, in a more important game and like down the road, we'd come with a different game plan, be ready to punch him in the mouth. I don't think our O-line's going to let that happen to him a lot.
Yeah.
No, I'd agree. I also want to shout out that first touchdown that the Ravens had. It was like the Lamar Jackson touchdown run. I just thought it was a really good play design on the fourth down.
It was.
I thought that was really cool. I love those cool little things that you see. But I mean, so I got to tip my hat. And then I thought I like the Lions screen of Jahmyr Gibbs for the 21-yard catch that he had too.
Finally targeting him with these plays. Like,
right.
I feel like we've always been using him as like a decoy. Like, finally just giving him the damn ball in space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully this opens up that part of the offense for us in terms of Gibbs and with his 9 catches for 58 yards today.
Yeah.
Everybody's been waiting for it, but he did get that touchdown finally. So
I want to see more plays like we used to run with Theo Riddick. Where, you do those little breaking in routes or put him one-on-one out there on the side to like do something with it. Like,
it usually is like an option route. The shotgun.
Whereas like they've been using them like all these like sort of like bubble screens and stuff, like which are they're fine for like getting little chunks, but they don't offer big chunks as much. I feel like unless you really make something happen.
I mean, I was expecting some more like sideline pass, like down the sideline, like him one-on-one with like a linebacker on the outside. I was expecting that a little more. We haven't quite seen that, so maybe that's coming down the line. They said they're gonna like give him more stuff. They've been saying it all year, like as the season progresses. So
that toss for a tutty was dope.
Yeah, desperately needed for some sort of saving grace today. Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting that we kept every starter out there all the way down to the final play in a blowout like that. Like I felt like Dan was sort of just kind of being like, we have pride. We're not gonna pull our guys. We're gonna fight to the end. I don't know, like, but it's like maybe when we're getting like dropping like flies, that's not the best idea. But
yeah, I would maybe lean that way, but
it also felt
at
like
least it wasn't too bad.
A couple like when we were kind of surging a little bit, like looking like we might make some sort of like comeback. Like suddenly all those fourth downs, like go for it on fourth down in the red zone instead of taking 3, felt kind of silly because like we could have had like 9 points on the board already to kind of vault off of to try to catch up with that like deficit. Instead we were working from 0. Like I know, like I love the aggressiveness. I love wanting to score the touchdowns, but like sometimes
I don't know if you're down 28. I feel like you got to go for it.
But like when you still got a lot of time, like those points can do a lot more. Like 3 points can be worth a lot more than they feel like when at that moment in time when you're settling for them. Like because like you see it changed the whole scope of the game down the road. Like if we were only down like 21 because we had kicked 2 field goals, that's a whole different game potentially. I'm just saying like I don't know. I would like him to maybe take some points a little more at times, but like, not that it really mattered in that game, probably, but it could have. Like, it just was interesting when he was aggressive, when he was conservative. I don't know what he could have done differently for the whole game, because when you're just that systematically getting beaten, but a few, some extra points to have a chance to actually like launch a comeback off of might have been worth having. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking that same thing at the time too. It might have done something for the morale a little bit on the sideline. Have a few points on the board.
It breaks them. It breaks that like tension of the shutout too. Earlier,
Yeah,
like maybe the defense suddenly, like, it's weird how points can, in fact, especially touchdowns, but points in general can just change. Like, you see it all the time where like you're getting completely shut out and suddenly you score once and then all the floodgates open and now you can't get stopped. I don't know. I just think maybe getting some points would have been worth it early on when we were.
Well, yeah, that's what I was
struggling
hoping
to
at the end of the first half. The Lions were driving a little bit. I think they even got into field goal range, and then Sewell had the bad holding call that took him right out of field goal range there.
That was a killer.
Like that, like they dialed up some good blitzes. Like that one safety blitz where Goff never saw the guy until it was way too late. Like coming off the blind side there, number 10, I think. Like that was them just calling really clever things, knowing what they had in hand. They just had once they had that lead, we were just in trouble against a defense like that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this is a tough one, for sure, no doubt about it. Right now, the Eagles are playing the Dolphins. They're up 7 at half. The reason I mentioned that is just for standings purposes, kind of where things stand. Lions definitely will not have the best record in the conference, most likely by the end of the weekend here. The Seattle won, and Dallas is on a bye, so those are both 4-2 or 5-2. Seattle would have the tiebreaker over us. I mean, there's still 10 games to go, so it's a long season. But the Chiefs are 6-1, so we no longer have the best record in the NFL,
Nope.
like we did coming into the weekend, unfortunately. But it is a long season. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Well, I do. One thing. It's just for all the fans that are panicking out there, and there seems to be quite a few, reverting back to the same old Lions talk, but this is not the same team. And just remember that in the movies, like the good guys, like any Clint Eastwood movie or Sylvester Stallone movie, right? Like somewhere in the middle of the movie, they get the shit kicked out of them, right? And you think they're out and they're dead, right? But somehow they come back because they're tough, man, because they're tough. And that's what this team is. Yeah, we got the shit kicked out of us today, but we're going to come back and we're going to be tough, man. And we're going to take some teams out and we're going to come back in blaze of glory. And you're going to see, we're going to string some wins together. And all of a sudden, we're always people crying. Come on, man. We're going to win some games. We're going to have a good year. So hang in there, Lions fans. Don't panic.
That's right.
That's
yeah, UJ kind of took I said it earlier, like great teams are forged through trials and tribulations. And I was just thinking of, when like the fellowship of the ring was broken at the end of, book 1, did they lose hope and despair? No, they forged on, and through those trials and tribulations, they were able to defeat Sauron and evil. So, our team, today we got an ass whooping, but, it's a long season and we're going to forge on till the end. And I have every belief this team has what it takes to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that Levi and Uzurike and Charles Harris are both healthy scratches for this game, which I thought was just an interesting note. Josh Pascal was activated.
That is interesting, especially Levi, because you would think we'd want a quicker dude inside, maybe, but maybe he just hasn't been that enough anyway. But man,
Charles Harris has been a disappointment this year thus far.
So do you guys think we need to be more buyers? Because that was the one big thing I like. Our defensive pass rush, it looked like Hutch and like no one else today.
Buyers, but you can't go nuts.
Yeah.
I'd say we either need a guy like James Houston back and healthy, or we need to get another guy on that line who can offer a little more of that sack potential on a regular basis because right now, Hutch is just not getting enough help.
I mean, the biggest name in the market right now most likely would be Daniil Hunter because he's on a 1-year deal with Minnesota. And Minnesota obviously is trending towards not having a good year in a transitional period. And I mean, the trade deadline is the end of the month. So the Lions pretty much have next week and then their bye week. And right after next week's game is pretty much when the trade deadline is. So it seems a little early. But I mean, the Lions have made trades with the Vikings in the past. Obviously, the T.J. Hawkinson trade. And as our producer just noted, that the Lions do have the Vikings third rounder in next year's draft, so maybe just hand it back to him for a top tier pass rusher.
There you go.
I mean, a third. Would you guys do a third for Daniil Hunter? I would.
Sure.
I think I would. Yes.
A 1-year rental.
Yeah,
I mean,
right now,
you just
we
don't know
need-
how many opportunities you have to make a run in the playoffs. And I feel
Right.
like the way the division's shaking out right now, and the Lions have a chance to get a home playoff game for the first time since the 90s. UJ, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head when the last time.
Definitely
It was
wasn't in the
91.
2000s.
Yeah,
When we had our last playoff win against
Right.
the Dallas Cowboys. Get spanked by the Redskins the week after, but yeah,
In the
I think
been a
it's
long
probably
time.
the last time. It's probably the
and it's
last
not like
time.
our third rounders always contribute. I mean, look at Broderick Martin; he hasn't even been activated yet this year. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. It's really
So-
bizarre that he hasn't even gotten a chance to operate.
Someone like Kalijah Cansey's looking really good right now, just for that internal pass rush.
Maybe.
That one
I don't
dude
think he had a good game today.
That
but
quick little tackle for the Ravens gave us fits.
Who's that?
That little speedy dude. I forget his name. The D tackle who's like their internal pass rusher. I don't know his name.
Is it
Yeah.
Metabuke?
Sure.
Justin Metabuke. Yeah.
He,
I mean, that was a name that we
crossed up-
mentioned.
He crossed up Ragnow real bad on one
Mhm.
and just absolutely toasted him into the backfield. That's what speed kills on the inside. Like, it just kills.
Yeah, he has 5.5 sacks from inside this year. So he's a third rounder too. He's a third round pick out of A&M.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we
25.
need some more. We need some more teeth on this pass rush. Right now, it's just not getting. I mean, not maybe for most teams, our pass rush is enough, if not overwhelming. But like against the good teams, you can see that the guys aren't on Hutch's level are not getting it done.
Well, for those hoping that Goff would be the front runner for MVP after this game, it went the opposite direction, and Lamar Jackson is now the front runner for the MVP per odds.
And he looked like it today.
He did. He did. So I mean, yeah, but again, there's 10 games left. We're not even halfway through the season yet.
We're 5-2, baby. We're.
I
sitting
mean,
in a
we've
nice
seen the Lions
position.
at 6-2 in my lifetime, and finished 7-9. John Kitna years.
We could still finish 15-2. So I mean,
Oh, we could also do that. I'm just saying, like, it's a long way to end the
Yes.
season.
Yep.
And the Lions, like Dan Campbell said, hopefully, like, this is just another humbling experience for them, another learning process. Still a lot of young guys in the team. A lot of young guys contribute to this team.
mhm.
And a
The
lot of
way
guys,
you
and a lot of
lose-
those guys, I've said, big success in college and stuff. So, like, being humbled like this hopefully gets them to come out and win by 32 next on Monday night against the Raiders.
That would
Heck
be
yeah,
nice.
The only way you lose a game like this really is by not growing from it. And I trust this team is going to fully take advantage to grow from it. Because, maybe like another better thing than like the next best thing after like an ugly win is like the just full blowout where you get to rip everything apart and really just get everyone to refocus down and get that razor vision back, like that focus, that intensity,
Right.
So
Definitely. Well, I think we can wrap it up here.
See, don't turn around. There's a Packers fan in your house. I saw her.
Oh, my wife. No, they're just saying that there's a Packers fan in the house. Don't turn around. Oh, she's walking over the.
She's got a
Oh,
frying
no,
pan.
I-
She's got a frying pan.
Oh, she's just waving hi.
I am.
Oh, that was a
Hey.
close one. If you're listening on the podcast, everybody's safe.
Not for long.
Jeez. We're cutting off her access to the microphone from now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, enough of that.
Well, all right. So tough one for Lions today.
He hit his
Hear
mic. No, you're like far away.
Nope. Big can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear
I
you.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, sorry. I don't know what the, but anyways,
the
so that's gonna wrap it up. I mean, the Lions get their ass kicked, but they'll have an extra day actually next week because they play on Monday night against the Raiders, a Raiders team that's really struggling right now. I don't know. They probably will have Jimmy G back as their quarterback, but we'll be podcasting later this week, previewing that game as the Lions try to turn around and respond to this loss in Baltimore, which we think they will. We still are drinking the Blue Kool-Aid on this podcast.
Always.
Never a doubt there. Never a doubt there. But thank you, everybody, for who tuned in on YouTube at DTBK or Drinking Blue Kool-Aid. Search it on there. Subscribe so you can get noticed of any future live streams that we have. Instagram at Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid. Connor posted his same game parlay in there. I don't think it hit. UJ, your same game parlay hit?
Oh no, not even not even close.
No.
Well, did any of it hit?
Yeah, my Jahmyr Gibbs bet and my yardage for Goff. I had him over 240 or whatever it was.
Oh, nice.
No, there you go.
So 3 out of my 7 or 8, whatever I picked,
Ooh,
hit.
you're not.
Hey, that's all right. You tried.
Yep.
You tried. You know what? You're gonna
your
try.
picks were like the Lions today.
Yeah, it's not par. But anyways, Instagram at Drinking a Blue Kool-Aid, Twitter/X at Drinking Lions. Go on there. Let us know your thoughts about this game. And you know, we want to hear how you're still drinking the Kool-Aid on this team. I mean, we're 5-2. We have a 3-game lead in the division. So you know, this happens in the NFL, like Rud Dog was saying. It happens sometimes. It's okay. Maybe this is exactly what we needed to go the rest of the way strong.
Yeah.
And thank you to our producer, Kid J. Kid J. Yeah. All right. Thanks to our producer, Kid J. Does a great job. And thanks to Sideline Report for supporting the podcast, and really just thank you to the listeners. I know this is a tough one. They're not always fun, unfortunately, unless you go undefeated all the way. So this is only our second one of the year. It's better than most of our time doing this podcast, where the Lions have had a lot of losses in our time doing this podcast in the last 4 years since we started it. And this is still the highest we've ever been on the team, even after a loss like this. We're all good. Still extremely fun team, and we just can't wait. Monday night, Detroit's going to be absolutely buzzing. That roof is going to go blast off. And the Lions are going to wait. Do you guys like those blue helmets now that they kind of showed them off in practice?
They look kind of cool.
I like them.
What's the uniform combo they're going to use with that?
It's those the color rush one, those silver or grayish one.
I hate those.
Stupid.
I think
Those
it'll make
those...
the blue look good.
Oh, so dumb. Like
I like the
why
helmet.
is gray our color rush? We're not gray. It's blue and silver. We don't wear. Why do we wear gray?
They've
and then you have
grown
a
on me
blue
little
helmet.
bit.
Color rush blue. Wear blue uniforms with a blue helmet. It makes sense. Oh, it's just so aggravating.
I don't know. They've kind of grown on me a little bit. The gray.
Yeah, like a fungus.
Like pajamas. And everything.
It's better than the black.
Oh yeah, anything's better than
a
black.
little bit. Couldn't they make like the jerseys like silver? Like make them like have like a silvery tint to them or something. Make them not
like
just
chrome jerseys.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm just saying like that.
Like those chrome helmets that Oregon had. Remember? But we'll do the whole jerseys chrome. Like we'll be just blinding everybody and running around the field. A bunch of
yeah, like flash.
I don't know if you can even do that, but it'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Look at Zach. Look at him.
He's just
He's
can't
frozen
even right
in
now.
time. Save that portrait.
Man, that
All you
face.
people out there still listening, save that. Screenshot it, blow it up, put it out on the internet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's gone.
Hey,
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got
You're
his
muted, Z.
You're muted.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you.
All right. Well, okay. Let's just wrap this up. It's a show full of technical difficulties. Kind of
Yeah.
like the Lions game today. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's fitting in that regard. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back later this week previewing Week 8, where the Lions will be hosting Monday Night Football against the Raiders. We can't wait to talk about it with you all. So thank you everybody for listening. And last but not least, as always, go
Lions! Woo woo!
That's tough, man.